Hello, beautiful souls. This is Pauline Marie. And today I am bringing forth Planetary Wave Activation 12 in a new way. So I feel a deep heart coherence with this wave. This activation comes directly from my heart. And I felt this as the ancestral grandmothers that came out in wave 11 with that reminder of remembering our roots. So this expression from my heart, as the Axis Mundi speaks, it's to the root of my heart, which is to the underworld. And I will dive deeper in a bit. I'm honoring the intention here, though. That's important for me that I've been holding with this planetary wave activations. So I chose not to speak into this activation without first consulting the waters. I also felt guided to pull an archetype from the Wild Unknown deck. So when I asked how the waters in the archetype would best represent my heart energy for this activation, the cards revealed the Waterfall and the Poet. This felt profoundly guided and aligned. The waterfall holds a frequency of embodied remembrance, a sacred geometry, not just seen but felt within the body. And this is a lived experience for me. The poet reflects my love of the intentional spoken word as an art form, as a language that carries rhythm, clarity, and truth. My heart resonates with speech that is conscious, it's alive, words spoken from authenticity that have power to activate, uplift, and heal, but that are raw and truthful. And from this space, I began, and the message will travel on the wings of gratitude for all the love and guidance, protection, and support that I have received. So here we go. Evolution emerges. An ancient soul memory is emerging. I'm reading from what I've written, from what is on my heart now, but its roots go deep. I feel the divine timing and planetary alignments at play, but so is my choice, my free will, my sovereignty. The timing of this activation aligns with some deeper wisdom that is emerging within. And I had no intention of speaking into this now, but it reminds me, we don't explain magic. We don't explain divine purpose. We live it. So I share my story gently, knowing it's not separate from yours. It's one thread in a living tapestry, an expression of wisdom that does not belong to me, but to the whole. It begins with a Kichimaya tradition and the Naguali of like an archetype, Kame. And today, in the Mayan count of days, it's 12 Kame, the 12th planetary wave activation aligning with this energy. And it means death and rebirth and transformation. Kame lives in the eternal present, the now. She represents the underworld, not as a place of fear, but as a womb of transformation. She carries the sacred cycle as a water oracle, a dissolution of a becoming into whole, and as a remembrance. This is the space from which I speak today. This planetary wave activation comes through me now with the essence of the cards I pulled. This was how the waters desired for me to carry this activation as the poet, as the waterfall. I listened, and now I speak. This activation arises from my heart as it is the frequency of 12 Kame. It's guided by the owl totem, keeper of wisdom between worlds. These are the roots of my heart expression, the undercurrent that has shaped how I listen, how I see, how I feel, and how I walk between the visible and the invisible, the known and the unknown, the underworld. And yet this is not the full picture of who I am. I live inside a sacred paradox, being both everything and nothing at the same time. I carry a deep connection between worlds, not only to the enlightened ancestors, but just as my heart is like a tree, its branches have a connection to the cosmos and to Sophia, the divine feminine wisdom of God. My path has revealed that I embody not only energetic codes, but a living lineage, what I understand as the Christed bloodline. A knowing is arriving from this lifetime that comes from seeking my own inner truth with God through deep reflection, dreams, and events for me in this human form. And I say this with humility. I resisted it. In my human experience, I felt unworthy of such remembrance. I believed my ego was still too present, that I was living separate from God. But through self-actualization and self-empowerment, the seeking of I am, I came to understand something essential. I am God, and so are you. My soul evolution was never meant to be isolated and denied forever, but revealed in perfect timing. It is an emerging, a piece of a much greater whole. To reject it was to reject my original existence. My desire for looking beneath the surface was to know myself. My true motive was to share an embodiment of love with others and live a life of abundance, purpose, freedom, peace, joy. And maybe this recognition, desire, or motive lives within you too. Maybe you're being invited to step forward into your wholeness, no matter how unconventional or out there it may seem. I'm now beginning to feel my soul frequency, not only as energy, but as embodied life, as all roles, all archetypes, all expressions, moving through form in support of a new earth. There's still much for me to uncover, and at the roots of my heart lives a frequency of fortitude, humility, dedication to my relationship with God, Source, the infinite creator, as a best friend that lives within me. I trust that divine timing will continue to reveal truths I am not yet meant to fully understand. I have followed inner guidance, synchronicity, and intuitive clarity, some days as naturally as breathing, and I also follow a human 3D existence. I was not always awake to my purpose, but I am dedicated to greater illumination. And now, as we all are, I am receiving illumination, and this is a beautiful result of choosing the path of remembering who we truly are. Some may ask, why would you choose this? For me, the truer question is, why not? Why not embrace divine light as a mission of love? I feel myself here saying, fuck yes. Sign me up, God. Sounds adventurous, challenging, and fun. This is the type of conversation I have with God on a daily. They're real, raw, vulnerable, simple, my childlike nature. To speak into this truth, I had to move through painful soul memories beyond time and within this human lifetime. The coherence of my Kame heart, the roots, carry a frequency. It's a kind of heart coherence alchemy that can transmute lower vibrations. I don't speak this to claim being special. I honor my uniqueness to honor those who may recognize this gift within themselves. Now, DNA activations are unfolding here in the body on Earth. What is emerging is a remembrance of our higher soul and divine purpose. It's rising from the primordial waters of creation itself. I'm doing the inner work to reclaim fragmented wisdom, lost gifts, and ancient star being knowing. Activating my higher heart coherence as a sacred heart. We're all invited into this depth. To know oneself is how creation itself comes to know itself. As my sacred heart or higher heart is now aligning with a higher octave, a divine order, my journey is being renewed step by step. I've learned to relax into this process, to enjoy the journey, and it's not about grasping it or striving, but dreaming and imagining and then moving in alignment to a magnetism of the higher self. A new mission, a new purpose, one filled with the qualities we deeply desire at a soul level. Purpose, love, joy, peace, happiness. It's not outside, it's inside our heart. The former path carried sacrifice and pain, yes, but it was woven into my existence to bring me here now. I was supported and carried on the wings of the angels through dark nights of the soul. I trusted through faith that God would harmonize suffering into love, sadness into joy. I remember as a child, out in my nature church, asking this of God. Imagination and play is what guides me now to create dreams into form and to live a purpose-driven life in a human embodiment. It has been agony and ecstasy, effortless and impossibly difficult, joyful and devastating. I allow my smaller self to integrate with my expanded self. I had to evolve through mind, emotion, through feeling, through experience to truly understand what it means to live. Gratitude for everything that shows up. It is there to evolve us. I remembered an ancient truth from the Kame energy. We die to live again. Not just once, but many times within this life. Each ending is a passage. Each letting go makes room for truth. What falls away was never meant to stay. What remains is more real. We die so life can return through us renewed. Birth, death, transformation, and rebirth is an eternal cycle. I claim my innate divine power, not to dominate, control, or conquer, but to surrender into deep love with myself and with all of God's creation. It's time for me to magnetize my dreams into form as God weaves a new fabric of reality through me, through us all. And it is an offering in love. So from the archetype of the Waterfall and the Poet, my journey continues to evolve, and I'm loving all the human sides of myself as perfect and imperfect, but most importantly as authentic. And I'd like to close out this activation by reading from the guidebook, the archetype of the poet. The poet here is also the artist, the witness, and the truth teller. The poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid. They must seek out truth in the darkest corners of the world and carry it back for all to see. This unique capacity resides within us all, regardless of our relationship to creativity. When the poet energy is present, there is a call for deep honesty and reflection, for seeing the big picture within the little one. The poet rides effortlessly between the personal and universal. It's possible that others may not seem to listen or care about what the poet's work. Or care about the poet's work. But do not be discouraged. The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of despair and violence that captivated our world. The poet's work is never finished. Find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. Thank you for being here, and much love.